Hello and welcome. This is Tania Gabrielle, Wealth Astrology Numerologist, and we are going to cover a very powerful couple of topics here. First, the amazing full moon in Sagittarius, which is the sign Jupiter, planet of joy and expansion and fortune, rules. And we're going to cover an even deeper topic, which is galactic center. This full moon lines up with the center of our Milky Way galaxy. So we're going to dive deeply into this gateway of the galaxy, this womb of creation, right? This source of our own birth, our own soul birth. This is going to be really a powerful moment. And you don't need to be a Sagittarius to benefit from this forecast. It impacts everyone. You have Sagittarius somewhere in your astrology birth chart. Now, this is the final full moon before the big summer eclipses begin in the beginning of July. And it's also preparing us for the exciting summer solstice on July 21st, which just happens days later. Plus, it has some really fortunate transits that put us in a positive frame of mind, including the fact that the moon is conjunct Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius. This is going to be really an incredible moment for all of us to move into a new vibrational place, uplifting place, a positive ascension place. The galactic center Sagittarius Jupiter moon theme couldn't be better, and so it is also enhanced by a major T-square that opens up the portal to galactic center, and I'm going to go into all of this. And as usual, we're going to end with powerful tips on how to leverage the star codes in your personal professional life. So that's what we're covering today. There's a lot to share in this episode. And I want to also add that Jupiter, the ruling planet of Sagittarius, is retrograde right now. So during this full moon in its own sign, the planet is internalizing. We're really deepening the impact, and that will also enhance the impact of fortunate outcomes if we participate in the amazing wisdom and transcendence that's being released. And we're going to go into what the main themes are here in a moment. Now, as I said, this is going to raise your vibrations in a big way. It already is, pointing to galactic center. That's our main topic today. So you really are going to get clear about why you're here. So that means getting in touch with your purpose, with your destiny, which, by the way, those are literally mapped out in your own star code. Your destiny, your life purpose are based on your birth code. They're based on the stars, and they're based on your name and your birthday. So to find out more about that in this incredible moment here in 2019, go to starcodeclass.com. It's a free masterclass. You can discover who you are at soul level, and this way you can accelerate these wonderful potential outcomes by knowing who you are, right? This is really wonderful stuff. So let's dive into our exciting topic. Let's start with galactic center and how it's being activated in Sagittarius, which is where it's currently located. It changes very slowly though. So in our lifetime, it will be in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius, by the way, is the sign that represents our quest for wisdom and truth. And the 21st century is also the number of truth and joy. And 21 stands for the truth shall set you free so that you can feel joy. So optimism and faith are big themes, and so is our belief system. So Sagittarius rules having peace of mind due to the wisdom and inspiration that we receive and the positive expectations that result from those inspirations, and they yield positive outcomes. They yield expansion. They yield incredible connections that are galactic. Jupiter reaches everywhere. It's the biggest planet in our solar system. So you're seeking solutions, and these solutions bring wisdom that catapults you forward towards positive success. Now, this full moon as I've said, happens on a powerful point that points directly to galactic center. And galactic center is currently sitting at 26, 27 degrees Sagittarius, give and take a few degrees. For me, the actual orb of impact or total region of the galactic center impact is between 24 degrees and the end of Sagittarius, 29 degrees, and even into 0 degrees Capricorn, the next sign, which is, by the way, the winter solstice point. I'm mentioning this because we're about to have the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere. So the solstices are actually activations of galactic center every time we have them. Now, this full moon happens at 25 degrees 53 minutes, almost 26 degrees Sagittarius. And galactic center is the point it's reaching, right? It's pointing to the Milky Way. Now, that's a massive vortex, the center of the Milky Way. And our galaxy spins around this vortex, and it's a vortex of really intense radiation. It's a black hole. It was discovered in February 1974 when the moon's north node was at 27 degrees Sagittarius. And Saturn, opposite the north node, was conjunct the south node, exactly opposite. So that means timing. Saturn governs timing. So the timing of the discovery of galactic center coincided with a real sense in 1974 of a shift that was happening in terms of taking responsibility, moving to a new age. And of course, soon after that, we went into the age of electronic connection, computers, which then turned into, the internet, which then turned into having our devices, our iPhones, our iPads. This really shifted humanity in a big way in terms of information, in terms of wisdom. So this is an incredible moment in human history when we made this discovery. Now, at the center is this massive black hole, this galactic gravitational pull, this birthing center, this womb of our galaxy. And black holes are energy vortexes. There is really nothing to fear. Just like with black and white, we don't want to fear one or the other. We want to understand that we need a vortex of this creative womb energy. It's bursting with incredible potential. It is the womb of creation, so it's very, very powerful. And galactic center is attracting powerful forces from the galaxies that are shifting us to the core of our being. So it's like the macrocosm and the microcosm merged together in this major transformation and helping us to co-create our destiny. Think of it as source, because this vortex, this massive black hole, is 4 light years wide, and our solar system orbits around it along with several hundred billion other stars. The scientists estimate, astronomers estimate, about 200 to 400 billion stars are in our galaxy, which is pretty incredible when you consider what that means, because obviously there are other planets as well, and now we're thinking galactically, like Jupiter and Sagittarius want us to. So this galactic center is super dense energy. It's a vortex, it's a pull, and it symbolizes the stillness of creation, the still point. So it is also very much filled with radiation. So there are energetic particles that arise from this vortex, and they're bathing the earth. And when we are lined up with this actual pointing into the center of this vortex, these particles unlock our subconscious mind even more. They do all the time, but now they're urging us to release. And why is that? We need to release pain and trauma, our past, because we're in a 9 universal month. June adds up to 18. 1 plus 8 reduces to 9. This is so much about release. And when we are unlocking the energetic particles of galactic center, we are letting go of what was and welcoming our divine mission wholeheartedly, because this galactic center is transmitting the code of divine consciousness. It's the spot where we have direct communication with Source. We're connecting to the origins of our galaxy. And this incredible full moon in Sagittarius is activating that potential in a brilliant way with insights. And we're connecting to those insights. So whatever you receive now in terms of visions and insights, these ideas that are streaming towards you, these are a call from Source, from your divine potential of creation to implement. So you must let go of anything related to Sagittarius, and Sagittarius governs beliefs. So beliefs that are blocking you from manifesting your potential. And so whatever divine downloads you're receiving are clearing away that old debris, those old... we have so much left over, internally from not only this lifetime, but many lifetimes that is no longer alive and fresh. It has informed us. It has taken us to this point, but we are now shedding so much in order to come out like the phoenix rising from the ashes. So as soon as you receive a new idea, connect it wholeheartedly, internalize it. Jupiter's retrograde, so you can internalize more easily. Bring it to the forefront because you're transforming the pathways in your brain. You're literally rebooting your brain, refreshing your brain. It's like upgrading your computer to the latest operating system, but this operating system is divine. It is not computerized. It has new information that's streaming towards us that can be accessed with every refresh, which is every new brilliant idea that is clearing the slate, wiping away like a windshield washer, wiping away, cleansing. So refreshing really means releasing and then welcoming new energy. And since we're on the eve of eclipse season, which is happening in Capricorn and Cancer, those are the big signs of the next couple of years due to that big event in Capricorn in early January, the big stellium. Because it's on the eve of that eclipse season and on the cusp of a brand new cycle, because July is also a one universal month of new beginnings, we're poised right now in the second half of June, and especially during this full moon, which is on the 17th, to welcome this constant wave of incredible divine downloads. I mean, this is conscious evolution in full force. This is like you're being given a magic wand, right? And you're basically using it to discover the truth. I mean, the truth shall set you free, right? And this jolt of energy from your magic wand is alchemizing the past memories that have kept you stuck in a certain way of believing the world is this way, unable to make progress in the speed with which you desire. And you're now able to face your life with much greater openness and a lot more honesty and integrity, which is also a Sagittarian trait. And this in turn gives you a lot more confidence. Now, the confidence is also coming from the fact that this full moon happens on June 17th. And it is a number of immortality. It couldn't be better where the Astronumerology is so lined up in such a beautiful way. So 17 is the immortality number. That's what I call it. And it is connecting you to your immortal soul, the fact that you are eternal. So this divine consciousness, of course, is eternal. It doesn't just disappear. And so as you, as an immortal being, tune in to who you truly are, this divine consciousness that is representative and coming from the center of our galaxy, galactic center, your alertness increases. You're much more awake. You're not missing anything. You're taking in everything. You're keeping track more easily. Like I said, a new operating system. You're connecting the dots. You have the wisdom to navigate. Your consciousness has greatly expanded to encompass this information across timelines. Remember, this discovery of Galactic Center happened while the North Node was on Galactic Center opposite Saturn conjunct the South Node, and Saturn governs time. So this means that we are able to easily combine the practical side of time living on Earth, having a way to navigate our days and weeks, etc., our months. But also we are with the North Node conjunct that amazing point in Sagittarius in the discovery. The North Node is about our future, and our future is timeless. Our future is about letting go of certain beliefs that things have to be a certain way. And it also governs having no idea about what's coming. So you have no prejudices, in other words. You are moving into the future free of being aligned with a certain way, a certain, you could say, culture, religion, political party. You can be free of dogma. You can just see every idea as it comes. You can do your research. Jupiter governs higher learning and wisdom. So you can do your research point by point by point and not get sucked into the old way, which is to align through your belief system to a group. This is really amazing stuff because we are actually moving in the process of this release into the Aquarian age. And the Aquarian age encompasses everything. It is a very open, breakthrough, freedom-loving, adventurous sign. And it does not adhere to belonging to anything because it's governed by Uranus, and Uranus just is unique. Uranus and unique start with U, so it's a good way to remember the Aquarian age here. But your uniqueness is the only connection that you have at soul level, is you as a unique being of light. So you're moving away from this needing to belong idea. It's not that you can't be part of a group that is a soul group, but that's very different than having this allegiance to a culture or even, DNA allegiance to family or a lineage or religion or a political party. It could be really any beliefs, and those are really going out the door. This is the Piscean idea. Pisces governs those things, right? And we're leaving that now, that need to belong, and we're moving into finding our soul family and being free to just explore without the heavy burden of needing to please a certain group. So think of those billions of stars that are stretching out in front of you, this incredible moment now where we're reaching into galactic center. Each bright idea is digested in its own accord, no prejudice, just pure inspiration, no judgment, just the sheer delight of discovery. And that is the richness of information, that stream of divine consciousness that you're pouring into now. So we have access now to that incredible truth, to that wisdom. So listen super closely. Galactic Center is contacted when you are in that place that is still the divine womb, right? So it's like these subtle energetic particles that are bathing the earth. They're unlocking your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind. You're receiving subtle messages directly from source, from heaven, from God, from the universe, from the center of our galaxy. And this connection infuses you with immense joy. That's the Sagittarius joy. It expands your confidence. It enriches you in such a big way, and you're set free. So worry is out the door, of course. With Sagittarius is so tuned in to joy that the channel is set to the tune of happiness, to the tune of truth, joy, flying into a place that has never been accessed before, and the freedom that you feel as a result. Now let's dive into the full moon a little bit more, because first of all, 3 days prior to the Sagittarius full moon, we have Mars making a pretty big splash because Mars trines Neptune and Mars is opposite Saturn. Mars is a very personal planet. It is about our assertive energy, our focused direction. It moves fast to a goal, right? It doesn't have a lot of patience. So when Mars is trine Neptune, it awakens that sacred warrior energy in you. Neptune is very refined. Neptune is in its own sign of Pisces, and it is that sign that we are slowly leaving. right? But we are still tuning in to the higher spiritual aspects right now. Those refined, subtle energies are very spiritualized, and under the guise of Sagittarius, they're very proactive in a very uplifting way. And then Saturn, opposite Mars, is a very tense energy. It will only last a couple of days or so while because Mars moves pretty fast. But Saturn is slow moving and patient, very thorough. And Mars, opposite Saturn, Mars is really wanting to go fast. So this is going to be a point of releasing tension. It might get a little bit heated. Oppositions always have to release energy in order to be brought into balance. And so impatience and patience need to be harmonized. So you may feel a little bit less energy during this time as Saturn slows Mars down, and Mars doesn't want to slow down. So a really good way to release this tension is to see it as a wonderful opportunity to immerse yourself in an activity that brings quick results. So the immersion in the activity itself is very Saturnian. Saturn takes responsibility and likes to work, and then Mars wants the quick results. So do something that can yield that for you. Now then we have the full moon. We already discussed June 17th, 17 reduced to 8, and the whole date also adds up to 8 as well, June 17th, 2019. So we have an 8-8 immortality, eternity, infinity aspect to this wonderful full moon, which gives us a lot of energy. The moon is conjunct Jupiter. The ruler of Sagittarius is Jupiter. This brings a lot of happiness and kindness and gratitude and an effortless sense of just feeling happy, sharing your heart with others. And the sun opposite Jupiter, because this is a full moon, the moon is opposite the sun, so the sun then is facing Jupiter, is bringing things into balance. But that means you're synchronizing in a really effortless way. You literally feel this sense of luck in your life. Jupiter opposite the sun attracts a lot of opportunities for moving into successful outcomes, because your confidence is really enhanced. So you feel like you can do really everything, anything. And financial gains can also increase at this time. So your outlook on life is much more optimistic, and you just feel very grateful. Now, we need to talk about the T-square, because it is a pretty big deal. I actually think it's an amazing addition to this full moon, because the moon and the sun are squaring Neptune and forming this very powerful T-square. Neptune, again, is this spiritualization of our energy. So mystical experiences can take you to faraway galactic places. This T-square is saying, please tune into your mystical side, tune into your ethereal side. That's the timeless side part of you, right? That's the part that can connect galactically to other parts of the galaxy and take in this very, very special moment. So listen to beautiful, uplifting music, appreciate art, and surround yourself with the exquisite beauty of nature, and allow your soul to be soothed by that gorgeous, I have a bird chirping outside. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's just so beautiful when we are able to tune in on that level. And then Jupiter squares Neptune as well, because Jupiter is conjunct the moon. And it's happening at 18 degrees. Now, not to pour too much info on you here, but June is an 18 universal month. I mentioned that earlier. At 18 reduces to 9. So when Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, is at 18 degrees, exactly squaring Neptune at 18 degrees. This is really powerful. It awakens the galactic center. It awakens joy in finding your spiritual side and questioning old beliefs and previous ideas, right, about deep subject matters. So you may have a change of faith. This is all part of this galactic center full moon, is to really honor that soul searching and doing something about the discoveries that you're making, and guarding against being in denial or avoiding the wisdom that you uncover. Use this beautiful soul energy to inspire you to be creative in a new way, and listen very closely to what actually inspires you. what fires you up, what fires up your imagination, that is what is being activated when Jupiter squares Neptune. Now, of course, this also means you want to know why you're here, to get clarity on what your soul purpose is. And that's really ultra magnified at this time. So it's really the perfect time to discover your soul birth code. Your code gives you those insights on who you are, what your career environment is, what your gifts are, how you're optimally designed to live the most fulfilled life. And if Sagittarius is about anything, it is about fulfillment, feeling really joyful at soul level. So discover your destiny, your soul code at starcodeclass.com. Just go check it out. It's a free masterclass. So now we need to look at how to take advantage of this opportunity. I already mentioned to be in a quiet place, be in a place of meditation, but we also want to look at another transit that happens during this full moon, and that is that Saturn sextiles Neptune, also at 18 degrees during this full moon. Remember, June is an 18 universal month. So this will bring very unusual spiritual experiences, and it will raise your interest in studying the divination arts like astronumerology or other spiritual subjects. And when you focus on your spiritual gifts, and when you make those spiritual gifts real, your financial flow greatly increases. And you also long to expand your understanding of other cultures, other dimensions, other galaxies, other star systems. The fact that there's life out there somewhere in many capacities. I mean, ultimately, it is an extraordinary new belief to understand that we are not alone, right? So the thing you really want to look out for is that your galactic awareness is in place. Right, that you're not denying and seeing your place in the universe, not just your place on Earth, but the fact that you have resources at your disposal that are so exponential, Jupiterian, they pale in comparison to whatever you've been told about who you are. You have internal access that goes directly to source. I mean, you have so much. You can connect consciously to source at any time. And so really the big takeaway is to look at the final aspect. It's going to give us the big takeaway, and that is Mercury trine to Neptune. And Mercury trine Neptune means your mind is in tune with spirit. It shows you the power of your imagination. It shows you that your mind can wander and explore other realms at any time. It shows you that nonverbal communication and channeling is much easier as your extrasensory gifts are heightened. So listen, it shows you to trust your intuition and discover that your intuition is your most wonderful ally, right? It is your closest partnership in terms of connecting to God is your intuition. And when you tune in, you can always see the big picture. You can move out of the getting caught into the current drama, and you can express yourself and share your vision instantly without getting pulled into the personalization and reactionary mode. That is a very human egoic experience, and move into the spiritual experience. So Mercury is merging with Neptune in the most beautiful trine during this full moon. And so the way you communicate through Mercury, the messenger, is changed because you're softening through Neptune your tone. You're speaking from a place of kindness. You're speaking from a place of unconditional love, respect, and delight. And so that broadens your empathy and your compassion, and it allows you to connect deeply and sweetly, right? Deeply and sweetly. So as a co-creator with Source, and see yourself this way, see yourself as a co-creator, because creation energy is constantly moving and never still and always in a place of wonder. And so as a co-creator, you feel highly motivated to be productive in what creates harmony and joy, whether that is through writing, speaking, composing, as a musician, an artist, a dancer, whatever it may be. You have a voice, and this is your time to voice your dreams, to voice your visions. And those obscure topics that are off the beaten path are covered now. So embrace that magical adventure and take this incredible moment with this galactic center full moon in Sagittarius, while Jupiter is retrograde in Sagittarius, and all these other incredible planetary connections and numerology code. Take this time to really discover the incredible beauty of who you are. You are such a gorgeous being of light. You come from the light. And this is a reminder and an activation of that light. So thank you so much for joining me. And I always love exploring the star codes, the astronumerology. Remember to watch that free masterclass at starcodeclass.com to discover your soul code. This full moon truly is a gateway into a new life for you. So embrace everything, all the changes, no matter what it is. If you do that, if you're open to just approach each moment as it comes with a fresh sense of wonder, you will be entering a new phase in your life, along with millions, billions of others, that is setting you up for incredible positive outcomes, successful outcomes, joy, everything that you crave. That womb of creation energy, that's where you're all heading. That's where we are all heading. So, lots of love. Have a gorgeous, gorgeous Sagittarius full moon. And I'll see you in next week's episode.